For as long as the first fur traders, missionaries, and pioneers would settle in the lands that would later be claimed as British Columbia and the country of so-called Canada, the Wet'suwet'en and Gitxsan people have been fighting for the right to land and sovereignty. For more than a century, a rail line, owned and operated by the Canadian state, has gone through the territory of the Gitxsan people without any concern for the fact that it is on unceded Indigenous land. In fact, the Gitxsan people are one of the first land claimants in British Columbia history, dating back to the Skeena Uprising of 1872, which saw Gitxsan land defenders blockade the Skeena River in protest of the ongoing destruction of their territory by gold miners. Now, over a century later, the blockades continue on.
This rail line across Gitxsan territory has been blockaded for over 100 years at this point. This is the spot where the blockade was set up. That occupation lasted for around 2 days, with the RCMP keeping surveillance and amassing over on that bank while the Gitxsan were amassed over on this bank along the highway. Like, they did not need to use assault rifles here. They did not need to come and terrorize our people in the way that they did. They did not even attempt diplomacy before bringing in those paramilitarized RCMP. And it's pretty clear that that's the status quo in this country. That's how they handle Indigenous descent. That's how they handle the fact that we own the title to these territories, because Canada has no title here.
This is sovereign Wet'suwet'en land. You are trespassing.
Under arrest. Get down.
As the COVID-19 pandemic shuts down businesses across the country, construction on the Coastal GasLink pipeline in northern BC is moving ahead, and Wet'suwet'en hereditary chiefs are upset that pipeline construction is continuing. Large sections of pipes are being brought into the Morris West Forest Service Road near Houston, BC. Construction and industrial camps were labeled essential services by the province. Gedebten spokesperson Molly Wickham says they are concerned over COVID-19 spreading. Wet'suwet'en are following social distancing guidelines, but say they are witnessing high volumes of Coastal GasLink workers in the territory.
An increased amount of CGL and RCMP activity in the territory. We're seeing a lot of pipes come in by truck that are all being stored on the territory. They're taking full advantage of the fact that everybody else is isolated and following proper protocol safety precautions.
The Coastal GasLink pipeline, operated by TC Energy, runs from northeast British Columbia to Kitimat and will facilitate the export of natural gas to the Asian energy market. The pipeline project, which began in 2018 and has faced many environmental assessment violations, passes through several unceded First Nations territories, including that of the Gitxsan and Wet'suwet'en people. The pipeline is funded by more than 24 financial institutions, including the Royal Bank of Canada, which is profiting from this and much more ecological destruction by the tune of more than $263 billion invested in fossil fuel extraction projects, including the CGL pipeline.
CGL gotta leave with their Army boy equipment. Get the fuck off the intel! JT gotta read his Delta BBC, and get the fuck off the intel! The Wet'suwet'en have been on their land since before there was an England or a France, before the Mongols conquered the advances, before the Roman roads and advances, man, before the bronze of the Iron Ages, before the English fucking language. So I don't really got the words that could explain the relationship that they got with that place. Sacred, legally it's unceded, and even our Supreme Court has conceded. So it's easy to see RCMP is just red coat, minuscule penises, big guns under Bay Street leadership, doing illegal shit, breaking Geneva shit. JT, gotta see the peeps ain't feeling it. UNDRIP, we meaning it. RCMP, take your machinery. Just leave them be, to live peacefully. Just leave them be, leave peacefully. Leave peacefully, man. Fucking renegade this order from the board, rescind it.
Get the fuck off the inter.
CGL, go to hell, no consent, no permission.
Get the fuck off the inter.
RCMP gotta leave with their only board equipment.
Get the fuck off the inter.
JT, gotta read this Delgum of BBC.
Get the fuck off the inter.
Dave McKay, hey, get the fuck off the inter. RBC, CGL, finances, man. Get the fuck off the inter. Tell RBC and Dave, yo, just listen. Get the fuck off the inter. I will be coming for your roads, your ports, your rails, your markets. Shit's gonna stop.
In late September of 2022, despite years of public opposition from the hereditary chiefs of the Wet'suwet'en, TC Energy began drilling underneath the Wetzin'kwa River. This further ecological destruction resulted in an urgent call to action among settler and non-settler allies made by Wet'suwet'en land defenders and their hereditary chiefs.
The Wetzin'kwa River is very sacred to the Wet'suwet'en people. When I go to camp, when I go back home and visit, I really look forward to drinking the water. It's so crystal clear. You can taste how alive the water is. You can taste the minerals in the water, and it's just so crisp and thirst-quenching and nourishing. It nourishes millions of people, not to mention ecosystems, salmon habitat, and these biosystems are so diverse and need each other. They drill under this river and they destroy the river, they pollute it, they destroy salmon habitat, which is a food staple for many West Coast nations. They feed grizzlies, the moose, the lynx, the cougar. There's so much habitat in that area, it's so beautiful. I wish people can see what we're protecting. There's mountains all around. There's a lot at stake, and not to even mention the impact on the community, what these pipeline workers bring. They bring a lot of violence into these communities. They get away with sex trafficking. They get away with murder. Their mindset is that Indigenous people are disposable. Indigenous people are nothing, are less than human, and our government is actually using industry, siding with industry to kill us. All of us, not just Indigenous people, right? So we're here putting our life on the line for you, for your kin.
They have begun drilling. We will continue to uphold our laws. We have an opportunity to put an end to the free-for-all on our territories. We are calling on you, our allies, other Indigenous nations, labor unions, anarchist groups, environmentalists, students, climate activists. The threat to our survival and our freedom is our collective responsibility. Enough is enough. It's time to plan, prepare, and protect what is left. When the people of the land impact their pocketbook is the only time we actually see real action and real results. Shutdown Canada impacted their pocketbook. It brought into question the viability of the way that they're treating Indigenous people. What is the most important thing to the government of so-called Canada and British Columbia? Power. That's what they want, and that's what we have to go after. That's what we have to call into question and take actions immediately to stop the drilling under the Wetzin'kwa, to protect all of our futures.
We had to act, we had to stand up. All the young people started standing up because they all started understanding the big picture. Put this good anger into it, because Literally, this is for the benefit of your children as well. We're all connected here. When you know something's wrong, and you got to do something about it, you got to say something about it. That's all there is to it.
We're going to shut down Canada. If you can't lend your hand, we're asking you to get out of the way. From then onward, there will be no compromise. The Wet'suwet'en Nation has asked for one very, very clear thing. They've said we need to shut down Canada. They've told us that it's the only thing that has gotten them any results in the fight that they've been fighting almost alone. When they ask something like that, response should be a clear yes, we will help you shut down Canada. Friends, we need you to join us. And if you're young, this is a call out specifically to you because it's your future on the line. And this is the only way that we're going to get action out of the government and show them how to treat Indigenous peoples and future generations, because that's what this is about. The future of humanity is at stake here.
On November 5th, 2022, numerous Indigenous activists and land defenders, along with settler and non-settler allies, participated in a nationwide demonstration of solidarity in support of the Wet'suwet'en resistance against the CGL pipeline. In Toronto, amidst a string of public employee strikes, nearly 100 demonstrators gathered outside a major branch of the Royal Bank of Canada on Yonge Street, with the group marching to RBC headquarters on Bay Street later that day.
What was trending on Twitter? What was the slogan? Shut down Canada. This week, there's another mass action that's going on with the same slogan, shut down Canada. And that's related to the workers going on a legal strike here in Ontario. Is there any connection between the struggle of Indigenous Wet'suwet'en people out in so-called BC and the workers here in Ontario? Is there a connection?
Capitalism!
There is a connection. And the slogan, shut down Canada, is the way we join together on all of these fronts to attack the same enemy. We have the same enemy.
Bingo! Solidarity!
RBC does not help us as white settlers. They're extracting money from workers. Ford is extracting money from workers. And they're super exploiting the Indigenous people of this nation, not only exploiting them as workers, but taking their land and their resources that are theirs. Indigenous people of Wet'suwet'en winning the struggle for their own land, to govern their own lands the way they see fit, is good for the masses of workers, even settler workers, because our enemies are the same. Communal control over our resources is how we reestablish our connection to the land. Not by a few people exploiting the land for profit, but by all of us together stewarding the land. And that starts by us joining the struggle. All liberation struggles. That's how it starts. And I call on all the striking workers in Ontario, fully behind them, but to join that struggle fully with the Indigenous struggle. Because when the Indigenous struggle and the general strike of workers comes together, there is no force in this country that can shut that down.
Shut it down! From coast to coast to coast over Turtle Island, we just need to come together and shut it down. It starts here. It might seem small, but this is how we inspire other people. Hop on the train, get over to Montreal, get over to Ottawa, shut it down. Do what you can. We can't give up now.
No more pollution from stolen native land. Land back! Land back! Land back! Land back! Land back! No more police violence on stolen native land. Land back! No more CGL on stolen native land. Land back! Land back! Land back! Land back! Land back! Land back! No more paying the fire on stolen native land. Land back, land back, land back.
A week later, on November 12th, Indigenous land defenders, climate activists, labor unions, and socialist groups marched in the streets of Toronto to once again raise awareness for the cause of Wet'suwet'en resistance against the CGL pipeline.
We are still fighting this pipeline, and we're not going to stop.
You're here.
Yes.
You're here.
Slato and other Wet'suwet'en land defenders, along with my little sisters, are still at camp. They're still holding space. They are still facing police and RCMP harassment, surveillance, and brutality.
Shame!
Shame! Every single day they face this, and they are not going to give up. They are still continually holding it down there on the ground, and so they need us. They need us right now. So, you know, they're very restricted because RCMP are, restricting their movement on their own territory, and they need us. They need us because, when we shut down Canada, you know how much power we had?
Here, here.
Yes, because of us shutting it down, it forced these these politicians, these so-called leaders, to meet with the Wet'suwet'en hereditary chiefs because of us. Yes, shutting it down. And that's the power that we have. So remember that every time you show up is the power that we have together. We stand together. That's the power we have. So Slato, the hereditary chiefs, they need us more than ever right now. And not just Gidimt'en and Wet'suwet'en, all the other Indigenous nations need us right now too as well. So we need to show up for all of them so that we can come up on the doorsteps of RBC and show them that we're not going anywhere. Yes, we are not going anywhere. And we'd like to call on other Indigenous nations who are fighting for their homelands to come stand with us. We're powerful more together. Yes, we're not going anywhere, Trudeau. We're not going anywhere, Coastal GasLink. We're not going anywhere, RBC. We got to hold these big goons responsible, right? Because no one's holding them responsible. So we, as the people, have to hold them responsible. So we're not going anywhere. And Slato and the Wet'suwet'en hereditary chiefs, we need to answer their call of actions to keep on showing up, to keep on holding the governments, these so-called leaders, responsible, RBC, and David McCaw, he's starting to listen. We're starting to get a response out of him. So it's working.
Keep bullying.
Woo-hoo! Yeah, we're not going anywhere. Okay, so thank you so much, and continue to answer the calls for action, because we're in this fight, we're in this climate crisis, and it's up to us. It's up to us, yes. We got to fight for those future generations and Mother Earth and continue this work. All right, so let's start the ceremony.
4 months later, on March 19th, 2023, Wet'suwet'en land defender Yves Saint, along with Wet'suwet'en hereditary chief Namox, made a call for mobilization of settler and non-settler allies across all of so-called Canada.
You know, if you hear the narrative that elected officials in industry have out there, they're trying to convince the world that we're not human, and yet we're the first humans on these lands. We know we're humans because we all have children. We all have mothers, we all have grandmothers. But their narrative about minimalize the culture, make the Wet'suwet'en feel that they are less than human, then it's okay to continue to destruct this planet the way that they're doing. I think that working together is how the true future of this country is. You know, we're going to go to the AGM in Saskatoon, April 5th. You know, across this country, there are 1,100 Royal Bank of Canada branches, you know, 578 places across this country. And we're asking you to come out and join us, go out there, do actions, contact each other, be together, use that voice. You know, we want to be at that RBC AGM because we know they're funding the destruction. They're one of the top 5 banks on the planet that support projects such as these. You know, if we come all together, we stand together and know we're doing the right thing and tell the truth of what's happening, that's where differences happen. You know, we often say, and I know that I live it, that making those connections with each other's, making sure that we are communicating purely, that is our way. And telling the truth should never, ever be a hard thing to do. You know, never let your voice waver when you're telling the truth. The truth is what will move you forward positively. And being together, man, if we get the unity that we know is out there, we can make a huge difference in so many aspects of what we do and how we do it. But it must be together every time.
And thank you everyone for your support. And yes, like Chief Namak said, we're doing a call out April 1st. Take to RBC. We have to pressure them. They hold our lives in their hands. And like Chief Namak was saying, government and industry and banks, they all go hand in hand. So who's holding them responsible? We have to. So when we come together and we put pressure on them, like we have to continue doing this work. It's, you know, we're not going down a very good path. You know, you see all these climate disasters and we're in it. So we definitely need to come together. And April 1st, we're doing a national call out. Take a branch, or you know, see if one's being organized in your town, city, and watch. We're going to be at the RBC AGM April 4th and 5th. April 5th is the AGM, and we have a Wet'suwet'en delegation going, and they are going to confront and ask questions to RBC CEOs. So watch out for that. If you're in and around the area of Saskatoon, reach out. You know, we're going to have some events planned out. So come join us. We would love to stand with you and to be with you. And let's do this. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going, because industry keeps on going. They do not take a break. So we need to keep going and push together. So thank you for joining us, and thank you, Chief Namak, for your words.
Hey everybody, this is Slato. I'm calling to update you that about half an hour ago, Kitamden checkpoint is started being raided by CERG. Charney's there. We have confirmed that 5 people have been arrested and removed off of the territory so far. 14 Kurg vehicles pulled up to camp. The last couple days they've been, Forsyth has been walking around trying to get footage of the inside of camp. We've had our territory monitor program going, building trapline trails, and yesterday the police were out on the trails harassing those people. So it's been a lead up, but all of a sudden this morning they pulled up with 14 cars and they're basically just doing a clear sweep of the entire camp, arresting everybody. So people are barricaded down in structures, trying to avoid the police. They're there trying to get into the structures. It's unclear how many more people, if other people have been arrested so far, but their intention, I believe, is to go in, sweep clear of camp, destroy camp like they've done before. So we're very concerned. Our chiefs and our matriarchs and our supporters are on their way out to camp right now to ensure everybody's safety and to see what the hell is going on. But we want to keep you updated. As soon as we find out information, we're going to be letting you know that 44 camp Gidimt'en checkpoint is under attack right now by Kurg. The illegitimate pipeline mercenaries are arresting people right now as we speak.
Execute a search warrant under the criminal code. Okay. I'm going to ask everyone to leave the area so we can conduct a safe search. Anyone wants a copy of the search warrant, they're free to have one. And I'm going to ask you to go across. We have designated a safe area to view the thing. Anyone who refuses to leave the area will be arrested for obstruction. Okay? I'm not going to tell you guys 17 times that you need to leave, so... Okay, well you can talk to your lawyer, but this is... No, that's not how this works.
Give me a copy of that.
As of right now, here's a copy of the search warrant, and I'm going to ask you to leave. You can read that, and
okay,
then
the way this works is you need to give us 15 minutes to read it to talk to a lawyer.
No, we don't have to give you 15
that's what you're doing.
minutes.
That's what you're doing.
Ultimately, I'm going to tell you right now, we don't have to give you 15 minutes. You are to leave the area. And
Ultimately, I'm telling you,
if you don't,
if you want to do a search warrant, you need to give us 15 minutes.
You're going to be arrested. No, we don't. You're going to be arrested.
You need to give us time to talk to a lawyer.
Either
make sure this is legit.
Either leave now, or you'll
need to give us time to talk to a lawyer.
Either
make sure this is legit.
Either leave now, or you'll be arrested for obstruction.
You've heard what we said.
I need to arrest you. Okay, too. This gentleman.
Okay, you're under arrest for something.
No.
Put your hands on us.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Not.